Welcome back to video number 2 on web server compromise. We are currently connected through SSH from my Windows 10 VM to Kali. And that creates a tunnel on port 32,000 so that I can get to my jump box inside the network. So the second step, now I need to do this step from my Kali VM. So I've used MOBA Xterm here to connect to Kali. Again, I'm just checking, but I want to make sure that port 32,000 is open. And notice how it's listening. If I go up here, 32,000 is listening on localhost. So if I do an SSH connection, let's say team 1 at 127.0.0.1 and the port 32,000. That might be a little hard to see, so let me increase the font size. There you go, SSH team localhost port 32,000. So this drills through to that host on the inside of the VPN. And I authenticate as the team 1 user account. Quick. Team is capitalized. Oh, come on. Aha, finally I was able to log in. I was just typing the password wrong. So notice that even though I connected to localhost on port 1207 at localhost, I'm now connected to the deploy box. And if I do an IP8EDR, I notice, hey, I'm on 192.168.169.105, which is on the inside of the network. Now going back to the slide here, I mentioned that your team port is on 22,000X or 22,001 for team 1. So what I want to do is connect and create another tunnel inside of my tunnel that connects to the compromised web server over the team port. So to do that, I'm on the deploy box. I can do SSH and the account that I compromised at 192.168.168.161 on port 22,000 and then your team number. And in my case, I'm using 0, but for your case, you'd use 1, 2, 3, or 4. So now I connect, and it comes up, recognizing SSH, and I can log in as my Vagrant account. Boom. Well, I've hopped twice, but now I need to use SSH tunneling to be able to allow my Kali box to run commands through the tunnel to get to the network that this computer is on. And this network is 192.168.1.x. So I'm going to back up. Here's my deploy box. I'm going to back up one more time. From here, remember I have this tunnel going over 32,000. I need to create one more tunnel from this Kali box to get to that host at 192.168.161 port 22,000. So let's write that out. So to create the tunnel, I can do SSH minus L. This time I'm going to choose 42,000. The IP address of the computer that is connected to my jump box or the pfSense firewall on port 22,000, and yours would be 22,001. And then I'm going to go across my tunnel on port 32,000. So I specify it. And then the user account on that remote computer over localhost. And I hit enter, and it's going to ask me for the password. Oh, hold on. Took one steps too many. So I authenticate. I'm not authenticating with Vagrant. That's not yet. I am authenticating as Team 1. Now I'm connected through SSH. However, I have a terminal. I don't want a terminal for this connection. I want to be able to tunnel my commands. So I want to exit out, but I want to run the same command. And now I add -F capital NT. So the F backgrounds SSH. N says we're not going to send any remote commands. And then T, let me refer to the PowerPoint so you know where it's at. T disables the sudo terminal allocation. So I won't even see a terminal created. So if I come back here and run this command as is, it's going to ask me for this password. And it connected, but it comes back to my Kali prompt. So if I do SS -LTP to look at my TCP connections, now I have a port 42,000, which is another tunnel that takes me to the compromised web server that's behind the pfSense firewall.